says agriculture, residential.
Yeah, I'll probably need to be out.
So, yeah, it's not.
I will not be in February at all. I'm going to be gone for like 20 days in February. Yeah, I'm gone for 20 days in February.
Yeah, always.
Hey, you had a minute.
Pretty sure you
He won't be first in line.
Oh, yeah.
But they've got really good deals on. I mean, really, 75% off the second person.
You use Uber money?
Okay.
Same discount. I know.
Right. Call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to stand for the prayer led by Pastor Dylan Davis of Stone Chapel Church, and then remain standing for the pledge.
Lord, we thank you for this evening. God, we thank you that you have created all things, and we ask that as we come together tonight to cultivate a city that honors you, that does something good in this area, we pray that you would be with us. I pray for our mayor and our aldermen and our city workers and our officials as they make decisions to better White House. I pray that you would give them wisdom and discernment. And God, I pray that amongst this understanding that there would be true peace here in White House. And we thank you for all that you are and all that you do. And we praise your name in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Corbett?
Here.
Alderman Matthews?
Here.
Alderman Silver?
Here.
Alderman Spicer?
Here.
Alderman Wall?
Here.
All right, need to adopt the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the minutes from the October 17th Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to send a warm welcome to all of our visitors. Thank you for coming. We have no proclamations tonight. We have the public comment section of the agenda. Nobody has signed up to speak, so we'll move to public hearings. Resolution 24-14, a resolution to annex certain territories and incorporate the same within the corporate boundaries of the City of White House. We'll open the public hearing. Nobody has signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Ordinance 2416, an ordinance to amend the zoning map from Robertson County R20 low-density residential to C4 office professional at CCS Private Drive and Sage Road. Open the public hearing. Nobody signed up to speak. Close it. Ordinance 24-17, an ordinance to amend the zoning map from Sumner County Agricultural AG to R20 low-density residential at 268 Marlin Road. Open the public hearing. Nobody signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Ordinance 24-18, an ordinance to delete the Municipal Code Title IV, Municipal Personnel, Chapter 3, Occupational Safety and Health Program in its entirety. Open the public hearing. Nobody signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Communication, Alderman Wall.
Looks like we had a good week this week. Groundbreaking at Goodwill, ribbon cutting at Publix, and breakfast this morning. Want to thank CCS for having us over for breakfast this morning. Seems like I've seen a lot of y'all too much this week. But, you know, but it's been a good week all the way around. So, other than that, the only thing I really want to say about is Derek and I have talked about these packets, something for y'all to stew over. There's a lot of time involved in these packets, and I think our time could be better spent if we had them possibly emailed ourselves. So, or get him to email them instead of putting them in these nice fancy binders. So, A, save the city some money. B, saves us a lot of time, and you know, hopefully, you know, it'll be a little easier. So that's all I got.
Alderman Silver.
Well, I'm back. I've been out for 2 months.
Welcome back.
So PSA, November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, among other awarenesses. And I want to thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers, cards, flowers. I was diagnosed with lung cancer in June, and I had a scan. If you're a smoker, a non-smoker, secondary smoker, you need to go and get a scan done. The size of a Cheerio was surgically removed, no chemo, no radiation, so I recommend everyone get a scan done. It's not going to hurt you, and it's like $150. So I'm glad that I'm back
We are too.
and healthy.
Good, thank you. Vice Mayor Spicer? Nothing? Alderman Matthews?
Yes, I'd like to thank Travis and his team. The morning of Veterans Day at 7 a.m., we had a catastrophic failure at one of our lift stations, and they responded very quickly. I got a call a little after 7 a.m., and they were there pretty much immediately. So I appreciate their hard work. It was their day off. It was a holiday, and they got right on top of it and fixed the problem fairly quickly. So we appreciate their hard work.
Excellent, that's great. City Attorney?
I don't have anything.
And City Administrator?
I do have a few things, Mayor, if you bear with me here. The police department conducted their semi-annual alcohol compliance check, something we started back when I was chief in 2010, before their time. The police sent in an underage person that attempts to purchase alcohol. They visited 34 businesses, and out of it, they only had 2 violations. We like to have 0, but we had 2 violations, and we will schedule a beer board meeting for January to have hearings on these 2 violators, White House Market and Neal's Poorhouse. North Palmer's Chapel Road widening project is progressing well. We have 1 utility pole that is too close to the road and expect to be moved. We are aware of the eastern edge tie-in that has an unreasonably high bump, and I will have our engineer look at that this next Monday. The Pleasant Grove Road, State Route 76 intersection improvement project is under construction. It's looking different down there. When I went down there, the project is expected to be completed in April. TDOT has given us permission to have traffic reduced to 1 lane if necessary, temporary, from the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Next week, TDOT representative will meet and set our start time permanently for either 7, 8, or 9. We'll have to wait to see what that is, and the end time will be 3 o'clock. Sage Road widening from Cardinal Drive to US 31W. The design is complete. We have identified 5 small areas of property at the corner of Cardinal and Sage that needs us to obtain right-of-way before we can progress to bidding and construction. These parcel descriptions have been submitted to Valerie's office for processing. 4 of the 5 are owned by 3 different developers, which we're expecting that they'll work with us and we possibly give those to us for free if they should. They're going to benefit from these improvements. The 5th would be require a small portion of the front yard of a single-family home, which we'll have to meet with them. The wooden utility pole at the southeast corner of Tyree Springs Road and South Palmer's Chapel. It's been too close to the road. It's been a traffic hazard for many years. It's been hit, been scraped and all that. Several utilities use that pole and they make it difficult for us to get that pole removed. We've tried in the past. Our Sumner County Commissioner Wes Wynn, through a contact he had with CEMC, was able to get CEMC to install a new pole further from the corner. He was also able to get Comcast to move quickly on getting their fiber transferred to new poles, so I want to thank him for that. AT&T also transferred their fiber, and as of early this afternoon when I went by, the wooden pole stood empty of cables, but they had cut off the top, and one cable was hanging down with a partial pole. The top of it was still stuck to it. There were some work crews out there in the area, so I'm hoping that they got that either removed today or they'll get it removed pretty soon. So that would conclude my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Need to acknowledge our reports. We got a motion?
Motion.
Motion to acknowledge and file the reports.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of the following resolutions. Resolution 24-13. Whereas TCA 6-51-102 as amended requires that a plan of service be adopted by the governing body of the city prior to passage of an ordinance annexing any area. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
This is part of for reinvestors, that annexation.
Yep.
It's just a plan saying that they're, we'll have services for them.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, got a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 24-14, resolution to annex certain territories and incorporate the same within the corporate boundaries of the city of White House. Second reading. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Matthews.
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Resolution 24-15, resolution establishing the schedule of fees for the recreation center. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second.
Okay. You're up.
All right. So I guess you guys have a chart. So we'll just start with the full membership fees. This includes access to the main gym, the auxiliary gym, the track, wellness center, game room, esports room, and all of our fitness and aerobics classes that the city will provide. As you can see, we have single resident, non-resident membership fees, family resident, non-resident fees, senior resident, non-resident fees, and active duty military resident, non-resident membership fees. So, I'll just mention that the non-resident fees are double. For every resident fee, it's double, so for non-residents. The membership fees for residents provides an opportunity to pay annually at a reduced rate. That essentially gives 2 months for free for single residents and 3 months free for a family. This is not a courtesy that we extend to non-residents. So, we also offer partial memberships, which you'll see on the second chart there, for individuals that are only interested in using just a part of the rec center, obviously. So just like if they just want to use the fitness center or the esports room, or they just want to come to the classes. And then the third chart is just our facility rental rates for residents and non-residents, along with their corresponding deposit fees. And obviously, as you can see on the bottom, nonprofit organizations will give a 50% discount on the facility rental rates too. The only other thing I'll mention is this was presented to our Leisure Service Board and unanimously recommended for approval as well. So I'll take any questions.
I know, are we prepared for the blowback that we're gonna get for charging for something that we've always given away for free? I know we've got a much nicer facility than we've had before. We've got a lot more things that you can do there. I'm just immediately thinking of, you know, the people in this town have complained over the years that we don't have anything for our kids to do. But now we've built now we're going to build this rec center that we're going to charge for. And mind you, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I mean, it's and I know kids have always wanted to go up there. You know, a lot of kids just go up there and shoot ball. You know, they play basketball, and that's all they do. You know, and it's I'm just thinking of the negative side of it.
I understand.
And I guess we've thought about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty standard for any, you know, municipality that has a rec center of this type.
Okay.
And these rates are extremely competitive. I mean, even lower than most places that you're going to see that you get all of this stuff. So, and of course, we discussed that at our Leisure Service Board. And,
yeah, I missed the first couple of those, and I was there on the last
you know,
one.
really, these are fees to just kind of cover, not cover, because obviously it's not going to be enough to cover, but just to help us with the upkeep and you know, maintaining what we have. You know, that's really more what this is about. You know, and so that was what the discussion entailed with the Leisure Service Board. So, but we're prepared to go in any direction.
Recognize that we're offering things we haven't offered
Right.
before.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean,
And we are keeping things for our seniors pretty much, you know, the walking is free until 10:30 in the morning, so our seniors are still going to be able to participate. But I think you need to recognize that we are offering more than we've ever had before. We had a gym and a gym and a gym.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with this. I'm just playing devil's advocate here because
No, I understand.
because I just know what the people have said. There's nothing for my kids to do. There's no place for my kids to go, and you know we're going to use tax dollars to pay for this, and people are going to go, well, why do we have to pay? But they have to understand there's quite a bit of upkeep there. You know, we're going to have a nice place. There's going to be a lot of amenities. You know, but I just that was the first thing that came to mind when I looked at this was the kids that want to just come up here and shoot ball, but they got to pay $5 to do it.
Well,
you know,
we don't want just kids to show up just to shoot ball either, because we
Yeah,
want to
a lot of
keep
those-
it a nice facility.
I know we've had some
We have to
issues. We've had some
non-residents.
yeah, they're not residents. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. So I mean that'll be a way to weed those out. You know, hopefully. So, but
How are you going to recognize who's paying the $5 daily? I mean, are they wearing
Yeah,
bracelets
well, it's like a
or-
wristband and stuff like that.
Is that gonna be a $5, oh, it's a daily, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the fees are quite a bit lower for seniors than a YMCA.
Right.
So
So the
significantly
YMCA
lower.
Yep.
One other item I had, I don't know if you guys looked at any programs for low-income families that would qualify for like free meals at school and things like that. I know the Y has programs where they will offer significantly discount programs to those families.
I would love to, yeah. I mean, it's never been something that we've pursued, but I would be more than happy to do something like that. If this board wants me to pursue that, I'd be more than happy to do that.
And that may be something we can add on at some point, but I think, especially for citizens of the city of White House, I think that would be something worth at least exploring at some point. We don't want a kid, that wants to use the facility and the parents are willing to pay something, but they may not be able to pay the entire fee for the facility.
I think that opens us up to have a deeper conversation as leaders serve for me, because we would have to understand how we qualify low income and how we justify that and
Yeah, I've thought
not
about
be
it a little bit.
discriminatory in
Right.
any way, so.
I think a lot of the programs are set up where if you receive, like you're enrolled in the free lunch program or things like that, that they use that paperwork to qualify. That's my understanding.
Yeah,
I may
we
be
also
wrong.
thought about trying to go off of like what the police does with their shop with the cop and stuff like that, who qualifies for that, how they determine that. We thought about trying to do it that way, so, yeah, we would love to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, low income.
And
Should get a break.
the last thing, I don't know, did anyone discuss, we give the employees pretty good benefits, but as far as allowing them to have free membership of the facility at no cost, I mean, you could weigh in.
We
on
did,
that.
we did discuss
They
it.
discussed it, yeah.
It's on this chart.
It's on
actually on the.
Yeah, and we are offering, we're offering a 50%
50%, yeah, I saw the
discount. We did
50%,
think
yeah.
about offering it for free if it benefited us in our benefits package,
Right.
as far as getting a discount on our health insurance. It did not benefit us in any way, shape, or form. So I felt like maybe a give and take, because you don't want the community to also see that we gave the employees something that we're not giving them. So I thought it was important that we give them something, but not everything.
Not free,
Yeah.
And see, I disagree with that, because the personnel for the city is paying less than the senior citizens are, and they're paying less than the active duty military. So to give them a 50% discount, which is lower than anybody else is paying, I know for a fact that you guys are all getting paid above market rate now. So to give individuals who more than likely don't live here in the city and contribute to the tax base a discount, I disagree with that. I think that if you don't live in the city, you should pay the non-resident fee, and if you live in the city, you should pay like every other citizen. Big surprise.
And I kind of tie it back to our health insurance premiums. The healthier our employees are, the lower our premiums are. So it's almost, a benefit that actually benefits us fiscally if they use it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's-
encouraging.
And that's what we were hoping for, so.
They'll use it and keep their health up, that helps our premiums, so.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Tremendous.
But they're not paying for it.
Well, they are paying for it.
yeah, they're
How
still.
are they paying for it?
They're paying the discounted rates.
But it's less than a senior citizen. Why would Aunt
Most
Ruby
senior
have to
citizens
pay
are gonna use
less
the walking
than an
facility
employee
and not
who is
the
healthy and young? Why should a senior citizen pay more than a full-time employee?
Do you have a recommendation on what we should charge a senior citizen?
I have a recommendation that the city personnel pay for their own membership fees. And on that, I mean, when we talk about the 50% discount, and I know you guys discussed it at your last leisure board meeting, this 50% discount, is that 50% on the household, 50% on the single, 50%, is it just for the employee, or is it for the employee's family?
Just for the employee, is the way I understood it, the way it was written up.
Because it doesn't say.
But we can, yeah, I mean,
Well,
I'm a biased party here,
in
so
that
I
case-
don't wanna,
In that case, if it's household, it'd be half of 55 versus senior being, it'd be it's a little more expensive than the senior, so, if you look at it that way.
I mean, do we know the percentage of people that actually live in White House that work here? I mean, Amanda's not here. Jerry, do you know?
No, I don't have that.
Never been
information for you.
questioned?
Yeah.
It's not a requirement to work here, to work for the city and live in the city.
No,
so-
it's not a requirement, but I mean, these fees are broken down specifically between resident and non-resident.
Because that's how all of our parks programs are, between, there's residents and non-residents fees. Any youth program we offer is the same way.
The employees get discounts?
Not employees get discounts, but it's broken up between residents and non-residents.
Which makes sense. I
Which is
mean,
the second side of your coin that I'm
well,
referring to.
I agree with the resident, non-resident. I'm talking about strictly the employee discount, which is less than senior citizens are paying.
But it's not, because we're doing it just for the employee, and
See,
it's more
so if
than.
you look at this, it's, a single's 25, that'd be $12.50 to the employee, okay? But a senior is the senior and the spouse, so they're getting two for that price. So it's actually cheaper for the senior, so.
You don't know that everyone is married. You can't make that assumption.
Hey, for me, it's gonna be $7.
Just because
For me, it'll be $7.50 for me and my wife, so, you know, I'll pay full price, I don't care, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say full price.
Well,
Yeah.
and I guess I am considered one as well, and I have no issue paying the full
Right.
price.
Yeah, so,
I mean, we're only talking $15, $25.
right.
Anyway.
All right, any other discussion?
I just wanted to mention, just to keep in mind with the operational costs, you know, we're talking about a 70,000 square foot building.
Yeah.
Probably most likely have to have 2 attendants on duty at least, if not 3 on duty at all times versus 1 that we currently have in a smaller facility. So our electric bill, our gas bill, all the things that we have are gonna increase. So that's why I think this will probably help out having some type of fee versus no fees at all.
Right. Just the
Because
basics of the equipment.
we're gonna be operating at a loss,
And
correct?
as far as your,
We always
we always, yeah, and then as far as, employees that live in or not, I mean, if an employee doesn't live in the city, I'm not sure if they're gonna wanna sign up for a family package if they're not here, or they're not close by. They may just get the single if they're just gonna work out after work or something like that.
Well, they don't get the discount on the family either, from what I.
Right, it's
Yeah.
just for the,
Just for the employee.
Yeah.
All right. All right, any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion carries. Consideration of the following ordinances: ordinance 24-16, an ordinance to amend the zoning map from Robertson County R20 low density residential to C4 office professional at CCS Private Drive and Sage Road, second reading. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, roll call.
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbin.
Aye. Ordinance 24-17, an ordinance to amend the zoning map from Sumner County Agricultural AG to R20 low density residential at 268 Marlin Road, second reading. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbin.
Aye. Ordinance 24-18, an ordinance to delete the municipal code Title IV, Municipal Personnel, Chapter 3, Occupational Safety and Health Program in its entirety, second reading. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbin.
Aye. Purchasing to approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement with Civic Plus LLC for website upgrade, hosting and maintenance on the GSA contract GS35F0124U in the amount of $56,724. The Administrative Services Director recommends approval. You got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Derek?
So currently, as y'all can tell, the website that we have right now is through Granicus. If you look at anyone around us, they have Civic Plus, and so when we created a website committee, we looked obviously who's around us and what they use. Civic Plus, if you go to Goodlettsville, Portland, Springfield, Gallatin, a lot of cities around us, it's more user friendly, mobile friendly, more ADA compliant than what we currently have. Granicus, when we first got Granicus, they do have different tiers to increase. Brentwood currently has Granicus at the top tier, and it's not that much different than ours. They have more functionality a little bit, but the clunkiness of ours is pretty much the same as Brentwood's if you ever go to Brentwood's. When we got Granicus so far, we got it at the bottom tier. It was about $8,500 or $8,500. Annually we pay roughly around $10,000 now to maintain and host it. So when we talked with Civic Plus, we had a budget around $50,000. That got us up in their tier system to premium status. That includes a lot of features. We had a couple add-on features. One of them is parks and library. They want their own, so they have the ability to have it's their own website, but it will have a different feel to it. It'll kind of tie into ours. Because like right now, library pays another company to do their own website. I don't know if you've been to the library's website. It's not great either. So they can tie into ours. They can have their own header, everything like that, but it's still underneath our umbrella, if that makes sense. If you ever go to Mountain Juliet's website, their police department, most of their departments have that feature. It's very cool and nice if you ever look at that.
So it's all inclusive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of features, and we didn't get all the add-ons either, as of right now, just because we wanted to keep someone went over budget around $6,000, but I can make that up in my lines. But there's other features that we could add on if we ever wanted to, if they ever needed. But right now, it would definitely be way different than what we currently have. User-friendly on the back end for the employees to use and utilize, but also the citizens.
So it's going to includes all payment services, including sewer, I'm assuming. Sewer bills?
Does not.
No.
No.
I asked that question too.
Okay, because
No.
I got a problem with the current sewer bill system.
I do too.
You can't schedule a payment.
Nope.
You either got to pay it the day it's due, or you got to pay it whenever, like some other day. You just got to, whatever
Or
day.
you gotta sign an ACH form.
Yeah.
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 So, okay.
So that's something we can talk with sewer and
So
finance.
what are they gonna have? What schedule, what payment services are we gonna have? Are we gonna have any payment services?
As of right now, we don't have any payment services. It does have that feature that we could add on to. But
Not even for Parks and Rec, it won't have the ability to.
they utilize their rec desk.
Okay.
So they
I
still
just wanna
wanted to
make
use
sure.
that for right now.
So could we look at dumping the payment services we've got now and adding it onto this one, or is it gonna be too costly?
They didn't want to even look
They won't
at it
entertain
right
it?
now. Not right now.
Okay.
Who's they,
Well, finance, with their system with Tyler, because that's currently the sewer bills are paid through Tyler's software. So they have their own website and all that to pay sewer bills.
Yeah, because it redirects to a different site.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But that's one of the clunkinesses of our website now.
Right, yeah. Because we used to be able to do it, and we can't do it now. I can't find out why we can't do it. Yeah,
Well,
we used to
that's
be able, in the
something-
beginning, you could do it.
That's something we could probably talk with Tyler.
Something in the last
add
6
to
to 8
their-
months has happened, I don't know why.
No, it's been that way.
Is it,
It's been that way.
Jason, does this program also include our document management for our meetings, or Derek?
So we are in the process of changing. We're gonna do Champs, which they do live streaming and agenda software. Because I had budgeted money to redo the AV system in this room, I budgeted $20,000. Their product came in at $16,000, and it includes the agenda software. So when you look at Nolensville or anything like that, it will tie into our website.
okay.
But they do. But Civic Plus has their own kind of agenda
too, but it doesn't tie into like the video playing and all that stuff.
Okay, so that will be separate from this?
That is separate.
Okay.
Right. Includes some hardware here like computer.
Yeah, there'll be, so in the next month, or two, they will be replacing this camera and the big camera up there, or they're either gonna replace that big camera there or install a new camera in the very back there, to catch the podium and you guys. But then we will be able to live stream, with their software as well.
Microphones have to.
Yeah, there will be new microphones. The 4 that's up in the ceiling right now, the quality is not there for live streaming, and in the audience we've had complaints, so at each station there'll be a gooseneck mic that'll be installed.
One thing I noticed is that they put in the contract is that upon signing we have to pay the full amount. And it's not a big issue because it's not a large fee, but that's just something I just do not like doing, because if you issue the check, you may not see them for a while.
I'm glad you mentioned that. It's actually, I talked to our rep, it's 25%. 25%, and then there's milestones in there. But I'll definitely make sure that they...
Just have them, when they send a contract like that, just have them change it. They'll change it.
Yeah. It's 25%, and it's different milestones, because we had that conversation.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get any input on what we would have liked to have seen on the website. The sewers.
We haven't got that design yet.
Okay. But if we're paying for certain services, there are some things that maybe we could have contracted to see. So maybe in the future we'll get an opportunity to talk about that.
Okay.
Study session, let's do it.
Well, we'll have a study session for sure, I think.
All right, any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign an agreement with SHI for OpenGov software for bid, vendor, and contract management on the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 121923-SHI in the amount of $35,820.64. Administrative Services Director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
So it's me again. So right now, I don't know if y'all have ever looked at how we do our bidding or anything like that. We go through vendor registry currently. It's $2,500 a year, which is very cheap for us, but they charge the vendors to look at our bid documents, any kind of thing to access our stuff on their website. They charge the vendors for that. So I feel like that it hinders our bidding, because I don't know, when we do bid out, I don't know if you ever see the bid tabs, we usually get 2, maybe 3. We would like to see more than 3. So that's one reason why I feel like we need to change OpenGov. It's more pricey on our side. It's $35,800 to initiate, and then it's an annual cost. That's just the implementation, and there's an annual cost for that. And then with the software, there's also contract management, so we can upload all our contracts. It notifies the vendors, it notifies us, and the department heads that there's a contract about to expire, so we don't come across a contract that we've had for 6 months that's been expired. That doesn't happen often, but it could happen. Also, the software for going back to bidding, we can do, right now we work with Word documents. We go look at our past bids and try to configure with a new bid. This we can pull through their system, electronically pull from bids across the nation and pick specs, and we'll have our own specs that stays there that we don't change often, but we can pull, like if, for instance, right now we're bidding out the Field 8 fencing, we can go onto their software and put in bid seat for ball field and pull in bids and pull that in there as well. If anything we like in their bid.
You know what our current company was charging people to look at our bids?
I don't. I know it's either, they could sign up for just our city.
Yeah.
Which most companies don't do that. There's a fee for that, but then, there's a fee for, but I don't know their pricing offhand.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, you know, when I was in business and we had to bid something out, and if I had to pay for it, I wasn't gonna pay for it.
No.
Yeah, I'd go on to the next one, so, yeah, so I mean, I know there's an estimate here of, you know, I guess that's their estimate of, with 20 bids, White House could save upwards of $600,000 year one. I mean, have we done our own, guesstimating on
Kinda
that?
hard to
Yeah, I guess that'd be
quantify that.
kinda hard, but I mean, the scope's gonna be much larger, you know, the number of people involved, you know, that we can.
I do know, if you looked at our past bids, we usually have the normal bid people
Right.
that we go, and those are, sometimes like we contact them directly and say, hey, we're having a bid, so they probably don't even go to our vendor registry.
And it could be that they're getting comfortable with what they're bidding, and they know and they know the situations we haven't, and, you know, it could, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a low number of bids that come in on our projects. I look at other states, it could be state related, but, we do get a low number of bids on our large projects.
Yep. This should help.
Yeah.
All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay, motion carries. To approve or reject Rogers Group change order in the amount of $107,800 for the North Palmer's Chapel widening project. Public Service Director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
If you don't mind, I'll start on this, probably, you can stay up there though, I'll start on this. We, in the process of doing North Palmer's Chapel Road, I was on vacation where I got a request for a minor change with the stormwater pipe. They had to go in and cut the road and put a water infrastructure in. It was about $6,500, which was within my authority to approve the change order. But and I got to thinking, when we had two driveways there, where especially the one where we have a section of our city property that is on. I mean, is in the driveway area where they would need some issues. We had a sinkhole situation in our one person's driveway had washed out really bad. Our crews went over there, tried to do some fix up. They came up with a plan, had to rent some very expensive equipment to try to resolve the issue. And then the next rain it blew out again, and so it was like we're putting a lot of money into patching this thing. I thought I asked Jason Reynolds if he could give me some, you know, what would it cost to do these two pipes and fix these people's properties permanently and make them better for our, you know, our stormwater management. And then when I seen the bids come back, I said, well, that's over my spending authority. I'm going to have to take that to council. I was kind of hoping because they were right there, they could get it done. They're not completely done with their project, but they're still in the area. We have them working right now, obviously in Pleasant Grove Road. They're in Orchard Park, I believe, right now, doing a milling. They're going to be paving Orchard Park. And so they're still in the area, and they can get a company that can get the kind of equipment we would need and to be able to put this infrastructure in. So that's the cost. That's why I wanted to bring it to you, and then Isaiah can answer about any details that you might have about this particular structure that it's needed for that.
So, Isaiah and I had a conversation. Question I had was whether or not we could look at using high-density polyethylene corrugated dual wall versus reinforced concrete pipe. The cost of reinforced concrete pipe is significantly higher than the corrugated. So you're going to check with the company that sells the corrugated high-density polyethylene and see what their input was?
I did, yes. So first I wanted to say that just recently we had put it back in the ordinance for only RCP to be in the right of way, but after my discussion with Alderman Matthews, I did reach out to ADS, and as a point of clarity there, the standard HDPE pipe that was in our ordinance, which is the high density polyethylene, that is what we removed from the ordinance. What I asked about was the high density polypropylene. which is a stronger, they use a more resilient resin whenever they're whenever they're manufacturing that, excuse me. So I did look into that. I did receive a quote today. The quote was $102.50 per linear foot. And with approximately 160 feet of pipe, the cost on that was $16,400. The issue that I see there is that we have a dissimilar connection that is what we encountered the first time we made the repair. So making a repair to that dissimilar situation is what gives me pause on utilizing that pipe. And then I looked into, also, you and I had discussed the idea of the depth in which that is underground and whether the material that would be backfilled on top of it would crush it or something to that effect. And actually, I was told that is different. It is different than what I had expected. Depending on how you compact that material, you can dump it in the hole, backfill that material to a depth of 14 feet. If it's compacted, it can be at a depth of 29 feet. Still, the issue remains that the other situation that we talked about over there was the fact that they used concrete barrel sections from a manhole as pipe that is not intended for this use. So what we're encountering there is the fact that material that is transferred through that tributary to the creek that is downstream of it is being captured, and if you have a dissimilar connection, you increase the likelihood of having material get captured in that and damage it further. And then the other part of it is there is a head wall that concrete pipe is tied into. So we would, if you wanted to go the route of putting the HDPE or the high density polypropylene in there, you would incur more cost because you're removing that head wall. You would have to put in another head wall to the same height, width, standard, and design work would likely have to be done on that. Whereas with this concrete pipe, it is similar enough that we know that it can join up fairly easily, and we can then move on with concrete pipes.
So this quote has some head walls in it also, I think, right?
I'm sorry?
This quote that Rogers Group provided has head walls. I think they have 4 head walls.
There's actually, I believe it was actually only 3, because we had talked about keeping the head wall that exists, having that tied in, and they're going to go in there and they're going to remove those steps from the first section, and then they're going to tie in to eliminate the need for ripping that head wall out and replacing it and rebuilding it.
That's what I'd like to comment, is this, on this particular project, our ordinance requires concrete. I don't think it would be right for the city to go and put in some other type of material that doesn't meet what our ordinance requires. 2 is, I know this is expensive. We did save about $500,000 on this project. The bid came in much greater under what our projections were based on our previous experience with that project. So I think we do have the money. It's a very important project for those families that live there. I believe the gentleman is aged and he takes care of an elderly mother in her 90s, I believe.
He's actually, I don't want to overshare, but he is he's in poor health, and he must be able to leave that driveway to get to doctor's appointments and things like that.
I've talked to them. He's got cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's had quite a few health scares. And for y'all who don't know, this is below where I live, and I know, did we take this property through eminent domain?
We all know.
We know.
We know.
It was back when they did the trail, when they
Yeah.
put the greenway in, they have obtain more property
Was it
there.
a purchase or an eminent domain on that?
I would think it was probably a purchase.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of water that comes through there, and it's a lot of weight. I mean, I sat there and I cringed every time it rained there for a while, because it collapsed, and it's, I don't know how many times you put rock in it since, but, it's gonna keep washing out, so.
We wouldn't normally be doing this on private property.
Right,
Somebody
yeah,
else's
that's-
driveway.
it's
It's
our
not something
property,
we do,
so.
but this is inside our property line, in the right of way, so I felt like we had a responsibility, that's why we responded twice out there, and each time it was washed out and trying to patch this thing up, but this is a complex situation, I think, with the way it's set up, the way the water was flowing through there, and it's not a sinkhole there, but it's very deep, and it just washed out quickly and rapidly, right?
And the reason behind that is because of that dissimilar connection that initially was in place, and because we needed to make a more immediate fix to that, our crews did do the same type of repair as was there, which was not our preferred option, but it was an emergency type situation, and we had to make something work to get the driveway back functional for the homeowner, yes.
Did the company you spoke with, one of the things was, would they make a suggestion on a coupler for dissimilar materials? I gave you one supplier for that. It's probably the top in the U.S. They hold pretty securely. But did they weigh in on that?
So they did not weigh in on that. I actually did some research. I've got a packet here, and I believe you and I were on the phone, and I was reading over it as you and I were speaking. And what I read, it says that it is best used, a dissimilar coupling is used best between HDPE and HDPP. So the high density polyethylene pipe and the high density polypropylene pipe, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist or that it can't happen, but that dissimilar coupling works best if it is with two plastic types of material, not necessarily a concrete to a plastic. That was in my research.
Yeah, they do have ones that go from reinforced concrete to plastic.
Okay.
Those are similar. That just, we wanted to explore that option and see, again, the repair needs to be made. It needs to be made where it will hold long term. We were just looking at possibly reducing the cost of some of the materials, and that was the only.
Oh, absolutely, that's important to do, absolutely.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of fitness equipment for the new recreation center on the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 081120-LFF in the amount of $229,329.49. The Parks and Recreation Director recommends approval. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Okay, so the fitness center is going to be split between the main floor and the studio room. The studio room is just a little bit lower below there. It kind of looks like the wood flooring and stuff. But the equipment we're proposing will serve for both of those rooms. The main floor will have free weights, weight machines, treadmills, bikes, elliptical machines. The studio room, it'll have the lightweight free weights, fitness bands, yoga mats, kettlebells, and a storage rack for functional fitness. The studio room will have enough equipment and room for just some small group exercise classes. This equipment comes with a 3-year parts and labor warranty. They'll also come out and fix any issues that we have during this period. This came in approximately $20,000 under what we originally budgeted. And this also was presented at our last Leisure Service Board meeting, and they recommended approval for this as well. And I've got Selena here. If you guys have any questions, she's knows everything about the layout and the equipment. She was heavily involved in all that.
Any discussion?
So Kevin and I spoke. He said they're going to offer us 3-year warranty on the equipment. So that's fantastic.
And I did find out, I know we had a question, I think, at our leader board that I think Selena found out that I guess the person is local to like, I think Nolensville that can come out and fix it. So it's like, she said 48-hour turnaround, I think, to get stuff fixed.
I wanted to make sure we weren't like waiting
Yeah,
and waiting for
somebody coming
someone
from
to show up,
California.
yeah.
All right. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Other business, to approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Fields at Oakwood Phase 2.2/10 properties. The planning director recommends approval.
This is come through,
Go ahead.
so this is going through planning commission, and they made a recommendation, to approve as it's meeting public services specs.
Any solar lights?
Everything's working.
Everything's working.
Everything's working.
Okay.
Field Oakwood does not have, they have electric lights.
Yeah.
We won't probably ever do solar again.
Oh, no. Just gotta make sure, just for you.
When they went to planning commission, everything's working. We hadn't had anything, since then, so.
Good.
All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Fields at Oakwood Phase 3/10 properties. The planning director recommends approval. I assume this is the same since there. Okay, we got a motion?
To approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Fields at Oakwood Phase 4.1/10 properties. Planning director recommends approval. Same. Okay, got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Fields at Oakwood Phase 4.2/10 properties. Planning director recommends approval. Same thing, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Concord Springs Phase 3/Real Estate Solutions Group LLC. Planning director recommends approval.
I recommend deferral between,
Do we have a
planning.
recommendation for discussion first?
Oh,
Yeah, let's, go ahead.
I need a recommendation.
Okay, let's,
You got
got a motion
to
to discuss. Second?
Second.
All right.
Thank you.
yeah, so, in the October planning commission, everything had been inspected, everything had been up to par, and then there was a rain event, I think it was Halloween, so between now and when with the planning commission. So, we recommend deferral because there's some things that need to be inspected. There was a washout that occurred, and so we recommend, it be deferred to next month.
Okay, we got a motion?
Motion to recommend deferral.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Reserve at Palmer's subdivision, Phase 3/10 properties. Planning director recommends approval. We good on this one? Okay, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No discussion items, no other information. We're adjourned.